Maiyegun làwọn mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwọn mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í tó níbẹ̀ o.
Thank you for joining me. So you can share the video. Maiyegun is live.
Maiyegun diary politico. Prosperous. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Bye-bye.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣẹ́ o, kẹjọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ijó ìbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ẹ̀sìn tó bá wù sí o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Gómìnà gbówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Thank you. Ẹ kú lé, ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń fi o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Báwo ló ṣe rí?
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Thank you. Share the video. Invite your friends. Let those who should be joining us join us. Maiyegun ti dé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òfin wọn ní ìrọ̀rùn.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n ní.
Wọ́n fún owó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun sọ pé wọ́n
Tó bẹ́ẹ̀bẹ́. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun sọ pé wọ́n ò gbẹ́bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ súnra kì. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níràn. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa ṣeré. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé o gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Thank you. Gbèrè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. 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 Ó ṣe wọ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dèrò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ mo ti dọ̀ba lójú àbínú ẹni ìsúnmábíyà. Ẹnìkan ìgbódi ẹ̀yìn lábàrá o gbogbo ẹni tó bá dán wò á kábùkù. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o bẹ́ẹ̀ni bá ti ṣe yìí gbèrè. Maiyegun ti dé wá jèrè. Iskil ọmọgbọ́láwọ̀n Iskil Mustapha ọmọgbọ́láwọ̀n wá pẹ́ fún mi, my dear brother. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live. That's the anthem, Abi. Thank you so much for joining me. It is going to be very, very interesting tonight. Probably it's going to be the best of Maiyegun that you are actually going to see for the first time in a long time. The best of Maiyegun, detailed, because it's going to be kind of, conversational in a way, and at the same time, it's going to be fact-backed. And you can go ahead and do the fact check. Yoruba, we deserve to have our own country. And it is time to begin that conversation. It is time. Those who are telling you, or those who are scaring you away from that conversation, or those who have manipulated such gesture in the past, and now will likely tell you it is impossible. Yes, but this is the time to begin to have that conversation. This generation needs to know the best. And they need to know better. The generation before us, well, they were not that bad. They did all they could, mostly for themselves, not for the land that bought them. But we will use facts and figures to let you know tonight that being part of Nigeria as a people is a complete disaster, a total generational mistake that has been passed from generation to generation in Yoruba land. And you will see so many Yoruba sons and daughters, despite this backward, deadbeats they have turned Yoruba land to. Those profiteers, the opportunists, those who parade themselves as Yoruba sons and daughters, Yoruba leaders, they call themselves. They are Yoruba sons and daughters too. For 60 years, the Yoruba land that they gave us, my generation, your generation, is the same Yoruba land they called Western Nigeria today. Who are we? I am not going to take you through through the rigmarole or rigorous torture of history. We are not going to do that tonight. We're going to talk at we're going to talk on the possibility, the prosperous land, that if you get to know how much of that they are hiding from you, maybe you will begin to ask for it. Maybe when you begin to talk about it, when you force them to begin to listen to you, to us, maybe we can unleash the prosperity that, let's say, nature and destiny and our forebearers bestowed on us, the natural and human resources that should have made us great. But because we are part of Nigeria, today's Nigeria, we will never, ever, ever attain that potential. Another set of people, another set of people rather, we will tell you that it is impossible because those who are currently claiming to be Yoruba leaders today, that we claim to be criminals, traitors to the Yoruba cause, norms and culture, tradition, everything we stand for, they have destroyed. They said maybe they will also be those who will lead the new Yoruba nation. No, they won't. They won't even stand a chance. And I'll tell you why. The worst of us are representing the best of us. And it has been like that for years. Now we have the best brains that should be making Oduduwa Republic, whatever name we choose to call ourselves. We are not supposed to be part of Nigeria. Those who should make Oduduwa Republic the greatest, a land of pride, a land you can call home, the motherland, the real one, the one that really gave you the first tongue, that first language that you've got. Before Nigeria began to change your orientation about one nationalism that was never there. I'll take you through that journey this evening. It's a long one. I am a Yoruba man. Yeah, that's a Jebu boy. I know my roots. I am not lost. Yes, Nigeria might have tried to redefine us, try to give us this identity that we have been battling with to even explain to the world. What is Nigeria language? You say, well, we only have official language. What is official language when you don't have the official people that actually speak the language? Language is your identity. I am a Yoruba man. If I walk into a hall, and I speak Yoruba, the few people who understand Yoruba in that room, they will all be like, yeah, that's a Yoruba man. If you walk into a room and you speak Igbo, the Igbo people in that room, they will feel like, wow, that's my brother. They don't care where you come from. That is who we are before Nigeria changed our identity. And that's why we've been battling with it. We have the population. We have the resources. We have the people, both human and natural. How come they are now telling a population of over 50 million people that they can't rule themselves? They can't be by themselves. They can't have good leaders. They can't set policies. They can't set the type of rules and government they want to lead them. They can't have their own country in 21st century. Come on. Let's start the conversation. This is the world population, as I want to believe. For those of you who can see the screen, I'm going to go on to that now. So the world population, we don't need that. But what is Nigeria current population? This is Nigeria's current live population. They say Nigeria is populated by 206,176,339 people right now. And the way they build that is that they use 2.6% plus or minus sort of a ratio because there's no accurate data about the population of Nigeria. Okay, so this is the population 2020, 206 million. 2019, that was when Nigeria crossed 200 million. This is live population of Nigeria from wherever you're watching from, right? Now, I don't need that. I want to take you to that of Yoruba land. So as a Yoruba man or woman watching me right now, share this video, invite others, let them know that this might actually be the beginning of the process of having a conversation why all the enlightened, educated, well-exposed, well-read, well-traveled Yorubas, sons and daughters all over the world should no longer shy away from having this conversation. It is long, long time overdue, and this is why. So in today's Nigeria, the Yoruba people, my own people, we are currently scattered over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states in Nigeria or Nigeria right now. If you are checking your screen, I'm using this data because they are like ready-made data available to everyone. Okay, they will help me in getting at the message I want to pass across to you today. Okay, so we have Oyo State, Yoruba people there. We have Ogun State. We have Kwara State. We have Lagos State. We have Osun State. We have Ondo State. We have Ekiti State. And we have a part of Kogi State where Yoruba people are well populated. Okay, so what they did, that many of you, the reason why many of us are now saying, forget it. Restructuring cannot work for Nigeria anymore. Anybody who is talking about restructuring is a fraudster. He is trying to defraud you again so that they can get to power. They don't even understand what that restructuring means anymore. Okay? So if you look at it, Nigeria has already been restructured since independence. Okay? And they did that thinking that will solve the problem. At first, when we went for independence at the time, the colonialists, they partitioned us into 3 regions, and they say Western region, Northern region, and Eastern region, forgetting the fact that all those regions were populated by, you know what I mean, different tribes, culture, traditions, and the rest of that. So one way or the other, those they call the Northern region, there were people who were not supposed to be part of that. They were partitioned to the north. That led to a fight at some point that in 1966, when they turned to, 1963, when Nigeria turned to republic, they decided to create the Middle Belt region, so that to give the people of Middle Belt, they also create a Midwestern region. That's where Oyo State, Warri, and the rest of them cut out of Yoruba, Western region at the time. So all of this were to see if that could solve the problem. That didn't solve the problem. Gowon came in. Civil war started. Then Gowon created 12 states, thinking, okay, maybe if we create states, that is 12 now. More people can control more places. That will solve it. It didn't solve it. Though it didn't create the state to solve anything. It created the state to cause more confusion in an already volatile, fake country. So subsequent president and criminals, thugs who took over power one time or another created states. Even Abacha created some of the states that some of you today, if they say Ekiti State is this and that, you will be angry. When I say Osun Alimajiri, you are angry because I put Osun and Alimajiri together. Meanwhile, your state was created as a political settlement by those political activists of those era, the political players of that era. The Delta State was even created as a gift because Babangida's wife, Miriam, came from somewhere in Warri or somewhere. So they created all of this, pretending that could. They were restructured. You don't understand that all they were doing were actually restructuring. That was not what you signed up for in 1960. That was not what your regional leaders signed up for. That's not what the Yorubas signed up for in 1960. We signed up for self-rule, self-governance, as a part of a unity or a united one country, but we are independent on our own. The Easterners were independent on their own until politics play out and they began cutting the country, breaking it into pieces. Today, you have 36 states. You have 774 local governments. And in Yoruba land, we have our own share. So we have 5 states at least, or 6 states.
But in all, we have Yorubas scattered everywhere. So I'm going to pick all these states one by one. I'll tell you the population of people there. All the population are not completely made up of Yorubas alone. Okay, but I'll tell you just to give you the better understanding of where I'm getting at. Why, if all these people can come together, if we have a good leaders who can come together and say, let's do this, let's begin the conversation. I have to appreciate all the responsible Yoruba leaders who are currently speaking up, by the way, because I'm not going to pretend that I don't see them. I do. And indeed, you are well done. Okay. So this is also a boost for you. We have the population. We have the resources. We have the capacity. We have every goddamn thing to be successful. I mean, governance, policy, name it. And let's start from Oyo State, because I'm going to need this data to tell you. Oyo State is only Yoruba state. And Oyo State, as it is currently it is, the population of Oyo State, based on the 2006 census, and I'm going to use the 2.6, plus or minus development or birth and death rate for this as well, because it is the same, it is the same sort of a measurement being used to at least arrive at a sort of, agreeable figure of the population of Nigeria. So Oyo State in 2006 had the population of 5.5 million people. Okay, 5.5 million people in 2006. So by 2.6% plus or minus growth rate, then we will expect Oyo State to have about at least between 7 and 8 million people right now in the last 14 years. Let's say they've had 2 or 3 million growth at that time, and they put the figure at 8 million moderately. So Oyo State has 8 million people, and Oyo State alone has the landmass of 28,454 square meter, and that is 10,988 square miles of land. That is the total land that make up Oyo State. That is bigger enough and bigger than the entire Scotland. But I'll come to that. We'll come to comparative segment soon. Oyo State has the population of, let's say, 8 million. And they have the landmass of 10,986 square miles of land. Arable, greener, what do you call it? Productive lands, I'll say. And they put the per capita income of an average Oyo resident at $2,666,000. If I have to change that to Naira for you, let's put it roughly at 1.2 million Naira. That is how much and someone who is living in Oyo State should be worth averagely. So as you are living in Oyo State right now, a Yoruba man, a Yoruba woman, you are supposed to be worth individually, you are supposed to be worth at least 1.2 million Naira being part of Nigeria, because the economic value of Oyo State as weighed is being put at $49.8 billion. That's a lot. And let's put it approximately $50 billion. That is what Oyibo in their own mind think a land like Oyo State, its economic value is worth $50 billion. Meanwhile, an average Yoruba man or woman living in Oyo State should be at least worth 1.2 million Naira every year, annually. That means at least, if worse come to worse, you should be earning at least 120,000 to 130,000 Naira every month as a Yoruba man or a Yoruba woman living in Oyo State with the type of economy that is there. But you know that is not true. You don't know. Now, this is what I found as well from Oyo. And it's about the resources that you can find in Oyo State. Educationally, we have the list of tertiary institutions in Oyo State that can withstand and develop enough to train Yoruba sons and daughters if they have real access to resources that will allow them to train Yoruba sons and daughters. But today, you know the story. Oyo State, I'm using states now, not using Oyo, because that is a geographical expression or like that suits my explanation in this regard. We have education, or you know what I mean, good ones that can take care of the people there. Then we have this land. I told you about the land in Oyo State, right? The lands in Oyo State are so good for agricultural, or let me say for farming and agricultural produce, that if genuinely Yoruba land is an independent country, whereby your state governors are not going to Abuja every month to go and beg for allocation. They are not going to Abuja to go and beg for loan approval so that they can borrow money that they are going to steal again. Now, this is what Oyo State can be if genuinely they have access to the resources, to the wealth, the prosperity of the land, and not what it is now. Oyo State can grow, they can cultivate in commercial quantity the following crops: maize, yam, cassava, millet, rice, plantains, cocoa, palm produce, cashew, and so on. And even though the current government in Oyo State is doing so wonderfully well, Seyi Makinde, in that area of agricultural revampment of agricultural revampment in Oyo State right now. And they have all these settlements, these farm settlements that are actually government farm settlements that can indeed make Oyo State the food basket of the Yoruba land, and we will never ever grow hungry or rely on all these policies somersault that being part of Nigeria is giving you today. The following settlements they have some in Apakpo, they have one in Ilora, they have one in Erua, one in Ogbomosho, Iresaudu, Ijaye, Akufo, and Lalukmo. These are farm settlements that government over time, successive governments in Yoruba land, successive governments in Yoruba land have destroyed, make them to their own advantage. Good enough if they are still there today, because I know something is going on in that. So there are those as well. They have in Oyo State, we have, when I say Oyo State, maybe I should even tell you the areas that make up Oyo State first, but I'll get to that. Not just land for agricultural produce in Oyo State. They also have abundance deposit of clay, kaolin, and aquamarine. There are also vast cattle ranches at Shaki, Fashola, and in Ibadan. So which means Yoruba land can raise cattle. Yoruba land will not have to send cows on the road, on our street. Oyo State has 3 big ranches. That is modern. That is classic. That is what an average Yoruba son and daughter should be championing. Not Ruga or farm settlement for Fulani assmen in Yoruba land. That is backward thinking. That is un-Yoruba. Now we have those there. We can raise our own cow, healthy, fertile, tasty cows raised in ranches in Yoruba land. That is just Oyo State there. But you need to know as a Yoruba son and daughter that yes, all of these are in abundance. And that is just Oyo State. Let me continue. They have a dairy farm in Monoton. in Ibadan, and a statewide Oyo Agricultural Development Program with headquarters at Shaki. So which means there's already an administration that should be taking charge of all of this. If these have been the case for years, today, an average Yoruba son or daughter will not be supporting Ruga, will not be defending Ruga on social media, and so on. These are the local government areas in Oyo State. And when I say local government area, you can call them the local council, just the same way you call them the council in the UK, your local council. Yeah. And that is the type of governance that Yoruba should have. Yoruba land don't need governors. What you need is representative from each quarters. Each region and each part get represented in a general assembly where every problem that affects them should be dealt with. Or your state has a total of, let me read them out first. The following are the local government area, local council areas in Oyo State. So administratively, when we get to Oduduwa Republic, there is nothing to change much. Just cancel the office of governors completely from everywhere. Maybe just change it to office of consular general for each region. Meanwhile, every local council is represented by an MP that will go to the General Assembly and table the problem that is affecting every council. Now, these are the council in Oyo State. They have Afijio Jobele, Akinyele in Monia, Egbeda in Egbeda, Ibadan North in Agodi, Ibadan North East in Iwo Road, Ibadan Northwest in Dugbe, Ibadan Southwest in Ring Road, Ibadan Southeast in Mapo, Ibarapa Central in Egbuora, Ibarapa East in Erua, Ido in Edo, Irepo Council in Kisi Okeogun, Iseyin in Iseyin Okeogun, Kajola Council in Okeho Okeogun, Lagelu Council in Yanofa, Ogbomosho North in Ogbomosho, Ogbomosho South in Arowomole, Oyo West in Ojongbodu, Atiba in Ofameta, I don't know if I get that right, Atisbo in Tede Okeogun, Shaki West in Shaki Okeogun, Shaki East in Agoamodu Okeogun, Itesiwaju in Otu Okeogun, Iwajowa Council in Iwereile Okeogun, Ibarapa North in Ayete, Olorun Shogo Council in Igbeti Okeogun, Oluyole in Idianyore, Ogoluwa Council in Ajawa, Surulere Council in Iresadu, Orelope in Igbowo Okeogun, Ori local government in Oriire local government in Ikoyi, Oyo East in Kosobo, Onuara Council in Akaran. These are the local council in Oyo State. You see? So when we talk about Oduduwa Republic, we already have this council. They already have people there. If we need to create more, so that more people will be represented from all those parts, then you create more. Cancel the office of governors, cancel the office of commissioners and all of that. All of them should go away. Let all these councils with the local council authority, that is where all of you who are artisans, who are experts in different fields, where you can fit in and work as civil servants who are developing your council. Your councillor will go to the General Assembly to go and table whatever you need there. You don't need governors, you don't need commissioners, you don't need anything, and you will save a lot of money by doing that. That is Oyo State. With the resources in Oyo State, it means Oyo people, the people from Ibarapa, from Okeogun, Ogbomoso, Egbeda, Ibadan, Kajola, Igboho, àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Everybody will have easy access to government. Government will be closer to them. There is no point in appointing PASA. They will not be necessary. You will save a lot. That is Oyo State. And I want you to continue to follow me. It is going to be a long one. As a Yoruba people, Oyo State with 8 million people can bring development if they are not part of Nigeria. Today, they cannot access the full potential they have because they don't have money. Every time Nigeria is paying debt, Oyo State is paying debt, even if Oyo people don't even know what they are paying for. For being part of Nigeria, they will continue to pay the debt of Nigeria. Their children will continue to be out of school. Your young people, our youth, will continue to be jobless. And those who have the opportunity of changing that and not changing that will continue to benefit for their own family alone. And they will continue to speak Yoruba. They will continue to tell you they love Yoruba land. They will continue to watch our children, our mothers, our fathers, our pensioners, our young, the youth. They will continue to watch them waste away, but they will continue to demand for respect, regard, and all of that from you, even when they continue to be irresponsible. That is just an example. 8 million people in Oyo State can live better life. 8 million people in Oyo State can live and have access to better facilities and amenities if they are not part of Nigeria. And reason now, let's go to Ogun State. Ogun State is also part of Yoruba land that you must know about. It is important because it is where you have so many people who claim to love Nigeria so much, and they said the unity of Nigeria cannot be discussed. It cannot change. And I'm like, why? If it is not working, why do you want to keep it? So, here is why. Ogun State, as you all know it, is a Yoruba populated state in Nigeria. And according to the world population, 2006, Ogun State had the population of, let me double check that. 2006, Ogun State had a population of 4 million people. So when we use that same measurement of 2.6% growth rate, then by now you should know that Ogun State will be at least somewhere around, well, they have told us, by the way, they said Ogun State is now 5 million people. But let's put Ogun State population averaging now at 5 million. That is also kind of the population of Scotland, the country I live. And Ogun State, according to the Wikipedia, Ogun State has apart from population, Ogun State has a landmass of 16,980 square kilometer, whatever that means. However, that simply means 556 square miles of land. Whatever that means, I believe it's massive too. Because I know Ogun State, I am from Ogun State. And as well, being part of Nigeria has given us our own share of this underdevelopment. Ogun State is made up of 20 local governments, which is 20 local councils. And we are also very much known for having a premier, universities in Nigeria. Education is very, very important to us in Ogun State. Until now, it used to be very, very important. However, we have our own institutions that can train our youth if they have access to the real resources. When I say real resources, I mean resources that are not beggarly, resources that are not handout like we have today, where we have turned to beggars in a country that you should be blessed, prosperous. However, this is what, or these are what Ogun State also has in abundance. We also have land, though, lands that can at least grow us food, build us industries. Though today Ogun State brag of hosting the highest number of manufacturing industries in Nigeria, but that's never really turned to prosperity. People still live in abject squalor. The 20 local council we have in Ogun State, we have Abeokuta North in Abeokuta, Abeokuta South, Ado-Odo-Ota, Ewekoro, Ifo, Ijebu East, Ijebu North, Ijebu Northeast, Ijebu Ode, Ikene, Imeko-Afon, Ipokia, Obafemi Owode Local Council, and yours truly's council, Odo Bolu Local Council, Odeda, Ogun Waterside, Remo North, Shagamu, Yewa North, Yewa South, formerly known as Egbado North and Egbado South. 20 local governments where we have Yoruba speaking people are well represented by this council. Like Oyo State. I want to bring this up. One sec. Right, that didn't give me much. Ogun State has the, at least that I know of, we have the following too. We have this, one sec, right. Yeah, when it comes to natural resources as well, Ogun State right now pride as the largest producer of timber in the entire West Africa. They brag about it, even though we can't build homes for our people. We are also acknowledged and known to be the center for the highest deposit of rock and granite, stone crushing and all of that, you can think of. We are blessed with this river called Ogun River that is enough to actually, also serve the irrigation system for the people of Ogun State. They use Ogun because they believe we get jars, by the way. And when it comes to liquid natural gas, why? We have it in a large abundance in Ogun State. Ogun State should, in fact, with the level of the liquid natural gas in large deposits in Ogun State, we should be having the best working country right now. Let me say working state in Nigeria. I know our brothers and sisters from the riverine Niger Delta region will say, well, they deserve same too. I know, but I'm talking about Yoruba land. Just to let you know that they are sharing the petrodollar as handout to all states in Nigeria, and Ogun State representative are collecting their own share handout every month. Doesn't mean that we are actually poor. We're not supposed to be collecting those handouts. Ogun State should be able to actually generate 24-hour power, 24 hours electricity every day, all year round, non-stop, with the level of natural resources we have. But we have blind people who believe that they are better off being part of Nigeria by deceiving our people to continue to believe that being part of Nigeria is the best thing for them. Now, we can't tap those natural gas. We can't run gas into people's homes where gas will power your turbine, gas will power this and that, and you'll be having a very, very, like a rich, when you say Dubai, Dubai will be like Idumota to what Ogun State would have been if we are actually Oduduwa Republic, where we have access to our own natural resources, where we have the best of us representing us, not the worst of us representing us. Ogun State is also the producer of limestone that is used to make cement. Yes, all the bag cement you see in the market in Nigeria, most part of West Africa, some of them are produced and manufactured from Ogun State, because the huge deposit of limestone in Ogun State, in Ewekoro, in Shagamu, are enough for us to begin mass construction of our roads in Ogun State alone. Concrete roads, the indestructible roads, with what we have. The large deposit of bitumen as well in Ogun State are left untapped because we are part of Nigeria and we cannot touch them. And if anybody tries to use them, they turn it into their own personal property. In Ogun State, we have the human and natural resources to actually get it right if we are not part of Nigeria. But we are part of Nigeria, and unfortunately, that's where we are. I'll take you to Kwara State now. But let me have a tiny break. I will be back, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment.
Mo bójú wáyé ò wáyé ṣámálámálá. Mo bójú wáyé ò wáyé ṣámálámálá. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣúbolẹ̀. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣúbolẹ̀. Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o? Yéyéyéyéyéyéyé àwa máa ṣe hùn ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀bí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún polóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́ ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí gbé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yóò Yorùbá ronú o.
Thank you very much. So let us continue. We are going to go to Kwara State. And Kwara State is an interesting state, by the way. Very interesting. The narrative is that Yorubas have lost Kwara. But that is not true. It is not true in the sense that even with the level of that misrepresentation, right? The Yorubas are in the largest part of Kwara State, even administratively. Council, local council, people in those council being recognized and acknowledged as the people in that council. That is what is called representative governance. But because of political exigencies, they can tell you that Yorubas have lost Kwara. No. Maybe Ilorin, as they would love to say, well, maybe Kwara State as a state is owned by Yorubas enough if that was actually put to practice. And with Oduduwa Republic, they will have that identity, the real identity of who they are, where they should be, without that confusing identity. Let's go to Kwara. This is for Kwara State. Okay. And Kwara State, I will just start with, are you with me now? I will just start with their local government, because that is what will give you an idea of this representation, so that whatever I say next, you'll be able to be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Being part of Kwara State, as they have been divided, as planned by those who claim to be the owners of Nigeria, for their own jolly whatever. But what do we have? And where do we have the Yorubas? in Kwara. If you are from Kwara State watching me right now, it is interesting if you can actually drop comment to let us know if this information is not true. So in Kwara State, they have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 local government or local councils. And they are with the language too. If you check your screen, I don't know if it's not too tiny. If you check your screen, they have Baro 10. I don't know how to pronounce that, if I actually pronounce that right. But they have a Asha local government. Asha local council, their language there is Yoruba. Baro 10 local council, or Ba Tonom and Ba Baru, I think that's somewhere. The language they speak there is Ba Tonom and Bokobaru. I don't know what that means. So there's a local government in Kwara State called Baruten, and the language they speak there is Ba Tonom and Bokobaru. Then we have Edu local government. The language they speak there is Nupe. Ekiti local government. The language they speak there is Yoruba. Ifelodun local government, they speak Yoruba. Ilorin East, they speak Yoruba. Ilorin South, they speak Yoruba. Ilorin West, they speak Yoruba. Irepodun, which I think I've listed earlier. Sorry, Ifelodun. And then now Irepodun, they speak Yoruba. Kayama, they speak Bokobaru. Moro local government, they speak Yoruba. Ofa local government, they speak Yoruba. Okero, they speak Yoruba. Onyu local government, they speak Yoruba. Patagi local government, they speak Nupe. So the entire Kwara State, the only local government, let me say the total numbers of local government where they don't speak Yoruba are, let me see, they are the Baruten local government, Kayama local government, Pategi local government, Edu local government. That is 4 local governments where they don't speak Yoruba in Kwara State. So how then can you say Fulani controls Kwara? If they want to keep the name Kwara, give it to them. When Oduduwa Republic comes, Yorubas that will be leaving Kwara will be a total number of Ekiti local council will leave. That is 1. Ifelodun council will leave. That is 2. Ilorin East will leave. That is 3. Ilorin West will leave. That is 4. Ilorin South will leave. That is 5. Isin local government will leave. That is 6. Irepodun will leave. That is 7. Moro will leave. That is 8. Ofa will leave. That is 9. Okero will leave. That is 10. Oyun local council will leave. That is 11. So how can you say people who have 11 local council, big councils in a state, a minority? That is an insult. So as an Ilorin person, you don't need, let me say, if you are from Kwara State, you don't need to wear a fake identity to belong before you can be given a recognition. You are a Yoruba and you should be proud of it. So how can you say a state controlled by, a state where Yorubas are in 11 local government is not owned by Yorubas? That is something, a conversation that should begin now. And those who genuinely believe that they are Yorubas should begin to speak up right now. Ilorin, now we have 11 councils in Ilorin, which means we have 11 councils for Yoruba people. Now, the total population of Kwara State, from what I have, is, back then, by the way, back then in 2006, so it was, let's see, there were about 3 million people. 14 years after, let's put them now at 6 million people, because yes, they can be that much now. So a state where you have 6 million people, possibly 5 million of them are Yorubas. So you have 5 million Yorubas in Ilorin, in Kwara State. The entire Ilorin local government, the 3 local governments in Ilorin, is controlled by Yorubas because they speak Yorubas there. They are Yoruba people. So how can you then say Yorubas don't control the law? So 5 million of Yorubas are living in Kwara State. So if you have Oduduwa Republic, averagely, an average person who is from Kwara State, a Yoruba man, a Yoruba son and daughter, you should be at least be earning over $3,000 in revenue. In this, either you are either doing a business or you are working in private or in public, that you are a Yoruba son and daughter from that part of that Nigeria, you are supposed to be in a year. The economic value of the entire Kwara State is put at, let's see that again. It's put at one sec. $31 billion. 31. So which means you from Kwara State, if everything they equal, you are supposed to be earning at least 1 million naira a year in anything you do, at least, at worst. That is the kind of economy, but that's not even the real economy. That is just the economy on paper. The real economy is the resources you have buried under your ground, under your land. Your real power, your real economic power. Do you know why Americans are so powerful? Because they have economic power. An average American, at least, is expected to earn over $100,000 averagely, in a year. Though they're not all of them. But when they say the wrongest of them, the ones at the wrongest ladder of the whole thing, they will tell you that at least an average American will still make more than $20,000 or $25,000, even from those who are collecting government money. They will make more than that in a year. I'm not asking you to go to America. I'm not comparing you to America. I'm telling you that what makes them better or sort of living that life is because they have access to the prosperity of their land, not reading about it in books. There are so many books they have written to tell you how powerful Yorubas are, how successful we were back then and then until they destroyed everything. So in Yoruba lands in Kwara State, they have the following. For tourism, you'll find a lot of interesting places in Kwara, by the way. In these areas, let me read them out. They have one in Esie Museum. They have one in Owu. There's Owu Waterfall. There is Imole Boja Rock Shelter. There is Ogun Jokoro. There's Kainji Lake National Park. There is Agbono or Agbono Hill. And then there's also this Awon. Let's see this. That's a long one. I don't understand that. But economically, agriculture should have been the mainstay of the Yoruba people in Kwara. Because Kwara State, as it is now, the Yoruba land in that part, they have a very, very good arable lands as well that can grow cash crops. They can cultivate cash crops that can, that can actually raise resources, make people rich in that part of Yoruba land. And these are the following crops that will grow well in Kwara. They grow cotton in Kwara, the ones they will use to make our clothes in Yoruba land. You can grow cocoa, coffee, kola nut, tobacco. They've got this Bene seed and palm produce as well. As for natural resources, they have petroleum. Would you believe it? That in Kwara, Yoruba land, Oduduwa land that they call Kwara today, actually have the same petroleum that they have everywhere that they are killing themselves for in Kwara. And they also have their own gold. They have limestone too. Limestone to make cement. They have marble. Can you beat that? Marble that they are paying Italians to come and do and construct for them in Nigeria after they loot your money. They have what is called a feldspar, clay, kaolin, quartz, and granite rocks like Ogun State. They do have it in abundance. But we can't build homes for our Yorubas. We can't build homes for our people. We can't put our people on a real support system. no social work system, no social system that actually support our people because there's no money, because the resources are buried, and because you're part of Nigeria. You can't do that. If you try to, then they will ask for war. No, it shouldn't be. And as a Yoruba son and daughter, you should be interested. They also have their own fair share of industries, by the way. They have, they have Dangote there in their, in Kwara, they have Lupcon and all of that. So you know all those, and you can search for more. They are not what I'm looking for. But what I'm actually looking for here is that the people, the spread, what they can access, how they are now as part of Nigeria, and what they can be if you educated ones begin to have that conversation. It's very important we begin to have this conversation and begin to identify with our brothers and sisters from every part of the world. Let's go to Lagos State, the no man's land, they call it. Fortunately, that narrative is very true. Lagos State has become a no man's land, but we are just opportuned to have Lagos State in Yoruba land because it is Yoruba land. Okay. But Lagos State has become the melting pot. Lagos State has become what London became, metropolitan, in the 50s, where you have the opportunity to become anything and everything legitimately possible until they changed it. Today, all the past governors of Lagos State, they are not Lagosians. So when someone says Lagos is no man's land, Lagos is nobody's state, but we have Lagosians, we do. And maybe because they are not really interested in the politics, or maybe they've never really been in the truest sense of it, in position of authority. That is why many of you will think, indeed, well, maybe there are no real Lagosians. There are real Lagosians. There are real people from Eko. Eko is what we call it. Eko Akete is where we call Lagos. That's the colonialist named for you, Lagos. But it should be called Eko. That's what I think we should be calling it. And it can be renamed. So, it is a no man's land in the political sense of it because, yes, the first, in fact, apart from Mobolaji Johnson, yeah, I think we can say Mobolaji Johnson is from Lagos State. But apart from him, and well, the rest of them are actually not from Lagos State. Today's Jaga bandits, the Olori Ajele of Bodilon, the Jaga bandit, the Jaga Wiri of Lagos today, is not from Lagos. So, from record, is a Yoruba man, by the way, okay? But he's a man from Iragbiji in Osun State, Iragbiji. Now, he went to Lagos, got adopted by a Lagos trader who gave him a name, Bola Ahmed. He was the one who, when he was growing up, he changed his name to Tinumbu and added Tinumbu to his name. It was never a Tinumbu or anything at all. And that's why he's been having issues as well with his, education qualifications and all of that, records there and there, because they just don't add up. He made all the whole thing up. So he was from Iragbiji. The one that took over after him, Fashola, according to record, they say Fashola too. Yeah, I think Fashola too claimed that they are from Isaleko and all that. So we'll give that to Fashola. It will pass that mark as a Lagosian. Right. And I think that was why the guy was kind of a bit different in a way to them in his own stealing. But the one that took over after him, our brother from Ekpe people are Ijebu people. Ijebu people are not Lagosians. They are not from Lagos. Okay? But because the divide and rule and the rest of that has now merged them to Lagos, like Ikorodu people too. Ikorodu people are not Lagosians. They are Ijebus. Are you with me now? But today, they are made to claim to be Lagosians. We are Lagosians. But the true identity they have is well defined in the local council they have. So when we have Oduduwa Republic, they will have their true representation, directly speaking at the assembly, saying, I am representing the Ikorodu people, the Ijebu, this Ijebu Ikorodu. You know what I mean? That is how it's done. the identity. So the one that took over, which is Ambode, is from Ekwe. And I think it was because he decided to fix Ekwe, was one of the reasons why they said he was never going to come back. So they had no plan for Ekwe in their fake progressive governance in Yoruba land. Then Ambode, went overboard and decided to fix Ekwe. And they were like, we'll deal with you. And they dealt with him. The one that is currently there, our brother from Ijebu Mushi, Sanwo-Olu, Sanwo-Eko, Adepointer, Adegator. A very good brother as well from Ijebu. But he will tell you he's a Lagosian. He's a governor today of Lagos. The senators representing Lagos, is it Lagos East? Lagos East or Lagos Central. Wife of, I think it's Lagos Central. Wife of Tinubu. She's from Edo State. Married to Tinubu from Iragbiji, Osun State. They met in Lagos. They married in Lagos. And luckily for them, they became the father and mother of all those who claim to be Lagosians today. She's from Edo State. The one that is representing Lagos West as a senator, his name is Solomon Yayi. He is from Ilaro in Ogun State. The one that later became governor of Osun State, who also represented them as a commissioner of works in Lagos State, the people of, where's that place, Aregbe Mugbo represented at the time. Aregbe Mugbo was from Osun State, and he later, he became a commissioner of works. So many of them, they are not Lagosians. 80 to 90% of them are not Lagosians. But Lagos is Yoruba land. Okay? So when we have Yoruba land, when we have Oduduwa, well, you can be Governor General of anywhere if you have that coverage, if you are living there. It will no longer be where you come from anymore. It will be what you have to offer for the generality of the people. And if you love your people, you will fight for them in the General Assembly of Oduduwa Republic. That's what I believe it should be. That's how it should be. So Lagos State, let me tell you what Lagos has. You know Lagos very well, the commercial center of Nigeria. Yes, that's all they told you. But there is more, okay? There are more to what Lagos has as a land. We have access to the sea, which gave us the opportunity to welcome and import or export anything into Yoruba land. That port, that entrance to Yoruba land, Yorubas are not in control of that. So that one alone is an insult, right? That the entrance to Yoruba land, the two main major entrance to Yoruba land or to Nigeria, because it's more or less like Yoruba is the entrance to Nigeria. We are the gateway to Nigeria from wherever you are coming from. 80% of you, it's more or less like you're going to pass through Lagos, one way or the other. If you don't pass through Lagos, maybe your luggages will pass through Lagos. If your luggages don't pass through Lagos, maybe your cargo will have to pass through Lagos. One way or the other, you will need to enter Nigeria, you and your goods. So we can keep that as Yoruba people. And when we are out of Nigeria, our brothers across the Niger, the Biafrans, they can dredge the river Niger for themselves. They can build their own, they can develop their own port in One. They can develop their own Warri port. They can build several ports because they have access to the Atlantic too. We are not the only ones who have access to the Atlantic. They do. But because of a fake country put together, for some reason, for their own selfish reason, they will not let them have those. Everybody still have to pass through that Lagos. Even though they pass through Lagos, they pass through Yoruba land. We are just onlookers, spectators. Some of our sons and daughters are agberos. They are pot rats. They are those who are stealing parts from imported, anything they imported to Nigeria, because the system made them so. In an area where they should be working with their head high, in a society that should make them feel like the Scottish people that could discuss in Brexit, even though they are part of United Kingdom, but they could, they raise their voice so high, so loud, that they are telling them that because UK is leaving EU, then Scottish people are not going to be part of that. We are going to go on for our own independence. So you have no say. You have that resources, but you have no say. The biggest of it, you don't even have access. You don't even know what they import into the land. You don't even know what dangerous stuffs they bring into the land. You don't know who and who is clearing anything. You just know that you have a port that is so powerful and they are stealing money from there. You don't know them, but your people are living in poverty. So as a Yoruba person, you should be concerned. And to let you know, the only people who are stopping us from getting that, and the only people who can stop us from getting that, are those of you who are currently in Lagos, despite the abject poverty, despite the abject underdevelopment, despite the destructive, divisive, backward politics they have played over the years. You still choose to be Abobaku. You choose to be ass lickers. You choose to be crumb chasers. You choose to be all risers, the Baba Sokwe's, and all of that. The only people, the only dangerous people to Oduduwa Republic by any definition are those people. They love one Nigeria. Tifnumbu Jaga Bandit, they call their leader, is a one Nigeria proponent. So is someone who wants to be part of Nigeria. And because of that, these are the dangerous people against Oduduwa Republic. They are common thugs. They are ill-educated. They are ill-informed. They are ill-exposed. They change crumbs. They are products of what those failed leadership in Yoruba land have to show us as their followers, as their believers, as those that call them leaders. But they are not in the majority. Many of you are the silent majority. We will find you. We will encourage you. We will embolden you. We will tell you to speak up. We will get the number. And then we will overrun all these miscreants who are telling us that being part of Nigeria for their own selfish political gain is the best, while we watch our people die in penury. That is what I have to say to you, Lagos Abobakus, and those of you young and old, ass lickers and crumb chasers in Yoruba land, who think because of what you are getting today, because you have access to it today, then Nigeria is the best for you. Lagos State is not just that port that Lagos has. Lagos has a very, very early and rich history that is linked to the international trade that makes it or makes her today the commercial capital of the entire, probably entire West Africa. Even though people live in squalor, people live in poverty, housing, and all of that, this is what we have as Lagos. Lagos is considered to be very rich. And by population, Lagos has a population of over 22 million people. Wow. All these figures, I want you to keep them in mind. 22 million people. That is more than the population of Scotland. It is more than the population of so many European countries today that Yoruba sons and daughters are going to ask for visa so that they can go there and call it our greener pasture. Yours truly is in Scotland because of the failed leadership, the generational failed leadership in Yoruba land. Even if they love to brag about title, if they love to brag about the money and the wealth they've stolen from us, or if they love to brag about the age that is now on their side, we know the evil people live longer anyway. We wish good people can live longer too, but they don't have that grace because the policies of the evil people kill the good people that should live longer. 22 million people, that's a lot. And Lagos has the estimated land mass, even though they tell you that Lagos is surrounded by water and Lagos has no land. Yes, it's populated 22 million people cramped in a land of 17,552. Oh, hang on. Right. So the total square meter in Lagos is considered to be 3,577 kilometer of land stretch. And the population, like I said, is expected. I mean, it's currently at 22 million, if not more. And in this population, we have 20 local council areas. And one, at a time, Tifnumbu created another 37 to make it 57 local council area. We can keep all those 57 in Oduduwa Republic because the 57 will represent the people of Yoruba land living in those areas, and they can have people speak for them as well. So the local government areas in Lagos State and the local council area, or let me say their headquarters, I will give you an idea of their population as well. If you check your screen, maybe if you have sharp eyes, I've not got that very much good eyes. But however, if you do, because they're so tiny, you can read along too. So the following are the areas known as the local council areas in Lagos. I'll read the 20. So we have Agege, we have Alimosho, we have Ifakoijaye, we have Ikeja, we have Koshofe, we have Mushin, Oshodi Solo, we have Shomolu, we have, let's see, Apapa, Etiosa, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Surulere, Ajeromi Ifelodun, Amu Ward Ofin, Ojo Local Government, Badagry, and we have Ikorodu, we have Ibejuleki, we have Ekpe, and everything. They are divided into 4 divisions, by the way. So if you want to know the Ikeja division, those are Agege, Alimosho, Ifakojaye, Ikeja, Koshofe, Mushin, Oshodi Solo, Shomolu. Those are Ikeja division. If you want to know the Lagos division, the Lagos Island, you have Apapa, Etiosa, Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Surulere. Those are the Lagos division. Then we have the Ikorodu division. This area are mainly populated by those who are not completely Lagos, riverine like that. They have their own identity too. And these areas are Ajeromi Ifelodun, Amu Ward Ofin, Ojo, Badagry, and then that's Badagry, Ikorodu division, it says. Then we have the Ekpe division, which is just Ibejuleki and Ekpe. So those are the Ekpe division for Lagos. People are there. The resources. Let me look out for those few I can pop up. There's so much information about Lagos State. Use the Wikipedia to read about them. But I am more interested in the commercial value. So yeah, with this hang on. I'll go to Badagry. There's something I want to check about Badagry. A moment. Yeah, Badagry is a coastal town. You know Badagry very well. So it's a coastal town, and it is situated between metropolitan Lagos and the border with Benin at Seme. So, as some preliminary census result at the time, they consider the population of 2006. They consider the population of people living in Badagry as a total of 241,093 people. That's a lot. And let's see. So to let you know, Lagos too. Lagos is also blessed with what do you call it? With crude oil. Lagos is blessed with liquid natural gas as well, and this aquatic splendor that gives aquamarine business will give aquamarine business a new definition. They are utilizing it as Yoruba people. It will be to the benefit of the land. The resources will also cancel the governor. We don't need governor. We don't need the commissioners. We don't need the PASC and all of that. You don't need senators. You don't need reps. You dispose all of them. The local councils will be sending in members of the parliament. They call them you can call them members of Oduduwa Republic Parliament. MOPs. You know what I mean? You can give them that representativeness. So they will all come together in a place called the General Assembly in each region in Yoruba land. They can do that if we have Oduduwa Republic, and the resources can actually go directly to the people, not to the pocket of the criminals. Let's go to, we have Osun State, we have Ondo State, we have Ekiti State, and we have part of Kogi State. I'm going to go to Osun State now. Osun State as a Yoruba land, as a Oduduwa Republic. Osun State has a population of at least 5 million people. That is also more than the Scotland's population. I keep using Scotland because since I left Nigeria, the only country I have actually been part of when it comes to independence conversation and campaigns has always been Scotland. So it is here that I got the grooming, the understanding of what true statehood should be. What are the things that you should look into, considered as things that can actually sustain you in the long run and sustain the people and the challenges ahead? So planning, data, figure, identification and acknowledgement of all the existence of these people. You can only acknowledge the existence of people when you give them representation, true representation, not Godfather forced representation and all of that. But we have had an hour, 20 minutes so far, and I'm going to draw the curtains here. And, you know, I need to get some break. This will be continued, and it will be called the part 2. It will start with Osun. We'll do Osun, we'll do Ekiti, Ondo, and then part of Kogi. And what I'm going to do next after that is to then go into utilizing all these figures, all these numbers. What can they work out as? How much of them will work in our advantage? A country of 50 million people will be more than what we have as, so many other prosperous countries in the world. And I'm going to pop a few up now, just to back that up, because that will be where we're going to continue from after reading the figures from all these places. What can we do? Should we begin the conversation now? Should we begin to tell the young people that, listen, you have the opportunity of changing the course of history, course of your destiny. You can unlock the real potential, the real one that they are not telling you about, the real one that is actually your real power, by the way. And until you begin to ask questions, until you begin to demand answers, they will never, ever tell you about them. So this is few countries who don't have the same population as Yorubas. And I'm going to quickly show them to you in a moment. But before then, let me have this short break too. Just a moment.
Mo bojú wáyé o wáyé ṣamalamala.
Mo bojú wáyé o wáyé ṣamalamala.
Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o?
Yéyéyéyéyéyé àwa máa ṣeun ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀bí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún kó lóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́n ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí gbé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yóò Yorùbá ronú o.
Thank you, my brother there. I know that song was originally written and recorded and released by Pa Hubert Ogunde. I just wanted to know that guy's name. It's good if we can find that. But just before I go, Yorubas have a population of over 50 million add-on, okay? And if we should add the numbers of those Yorubas who are currently outside Yoruba land or outside Nigeria, then you realize that indeed, we can have a country.
And we will have a very, very beautiful country when we begin to have access to the resources that is ours and not Nigeria's resources. We have our resources. And those who are claiming to be the owners of them are those who are also claiming to be the owners of you. And you can tell them to stop. You can actually stop them when you begin to change your own orientation as well. There are countries that don't have the similar population we have as a people, as Yoruba people, and they are doing fine. Some of them, you are applying to go there for visa. Okay, so if you check your screen now, there are countries. If Yorubas have 50 million people who can feed themselves, who can live comfortably and build a country, massive, successful, prosperous country. Listen, there are countries who have them and they don't have what we have. They don't. Take a look. The population of Nigeria is number 6. Let me see. Where is Nigeria again? Nigeria is number 7 after Brazil with a population of 206 million. Okay. And Nigeria is a failed country, by the way. You know that. Failed country with failed leaders and failed criminals who are parading themselves as leaders. But look at these countries who have smaller numbers, right? Let's begin from, and pick few. I'm not saying that they are all successful. We are not them. We are Yorubas. And we can build the best and the modern, we can build the best modern country that the world would ever see. Yes, we have what it takes. The intellect, the people, the resources, we do. We just need to stop the worst of us from representing the best of us. We need to begin to push them out and say, come on, stand up and let's do it. Look at this country. Saudi Arabia's population is 34.8 million. They have oil. They have people. We have oil. We have land. We have people. They don't even have water. We have water. And look at us. Saudi Arabia, their population, the total population of Saudi Arabia is 30. One sec. There's another one here. I just found 2. 34 million for Saudi Arabia. Canada, that's many of us are running to today. The total population of Canada is 37.7 million as of today. 37.7 million. Yoruba has 50 million. And we can't take care of ourselves because we are part of Nigeria. So who says you can't have your own country? Another one, Ukraine. Ukraine in Europe, yeah? The total population of Ukraine is 43.7 million. Canada is 37. Saudi Arabia is 34. Malaysia that many of you are also going to today, the population is 32 million. They were in the same category with Nigeria in the 60s. Today, Nigerians are going there and they are more successful than they are in Nigeria today because they are living in Malaysia. And the population of Malaysia is just 32 million. The population of Ghana is 31 million. Population of Cameroon is 26 million. Jesus. Taiwan. The population of Taiwan is 23 million. Look at that. You can look all these things up. And if anyone is telling you that you can't stand alone as a Yoruba, he is your enemy. They want to be president in 2023, Abi. You should never be used as that ladder. And do not be deceived. It is not in your own interest. That you can't have your own country is a total mirage. And you shouldn't believe it anymore. You should stop now. And we will make you stop, by the way. We have Belgium. The population of Belgium is 11.5 million. 11.5 million. Czech Republic, their population is 10.7 million. Portugal is 10 million. Sweden is 10 million. Austria is 9 million. Israel is 8.6 million. Switzerland, where they steal your money, they steal money from the jungle. They steal money from the contraption. They pack the money to Switzerland. Now, the Swiss, Switzerland, where the people who live, the Swiss are living better life than many of you in Nigeria, and they are keeping your money there. What is the population of Switzerland? 8.6 million. Reasonable. Finland, Denmark, their population are between 5.7, 5.5. Reasonable. These are tiny, tiny countries that so many states, giants, crippled, or let me say crippled giant states in Yoruba land, that they have run bankrupt. Osun State, Aregbe Mugbo ran Osun State bankrupt, turned millions of people into poverty. In Yoruba land, we have a lot to talk about. This is the part one of this, and we will continue when the time gives us again. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Tell them we can have our own country. We can build a country. And until you begin to have that conversation, until you stop mixing Tinumbu or Tifnumbu with Oduduwa Republic, until you stop mixing Nigeria with your own real identity as a Yoruba person, you will never have the courage to have that conversation. And even whatever your fathers or your mothers have told you about Nigeria, it is now obvious that they lied to you. They were all lies. Now, if you choose to continue to believe in one Nigeria, it will be your choice. It will no longer be out of ignorance. It will no longer be because you don't know. Now you know. We will continue the conversation tomorrow. And it will start with Osun. When I will come in, I just need those data on before I will then begin the conversation about the dissolution and why you, as a Yoruba son or a Yoruba daughter, a born bona fide Omoluabi, not an ass licker, a political jobber, a crumb chaser. No, I'm talking about the real Omoluabi, those ones that will not trade their identity for peanuts, for appointments, for the luxury of office. We will find them. We will match them. We will encourage them. They will stand up, and you will all realize that all these miscreants parading themselves around Yoruba land, intimidating and threatening everybody because of Nigeria, they don't represent us. In fact, they are not even in majority. They are only succeeding because they keep using violence and intimidation, death, to coerce and force people to just accept what they have been given. We will force those silent majority out. We'll bring them out, we'll force them out, and we'll make them feel encouraged enough to stand up to some of you. When the facts and figures begin to fly here and there, the conversation are now around Oduduwa Republic. We discover the true patriots, the genuine Omoluabis in Yoruba land, those who genuinely want Oduduwa Republic. We will find them, and we will make it happen. Thank you very much for your time today. I'll see you some other time. I'll leave you with this again.
Mo bojú wáyé o wáyé ṣamalamala.
Mo bojú wáyé o wáyé ṣamalamala.
Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o?
Àwa máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ńlá ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀bí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún polóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́n ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí gbé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yóò Yorùbá ro.
Yorùbá sọra wọn di bọ́ọ̀lù fáráyé gbá.
Wọ́n bá wọn sókè, wọ́n tún bá wọn sísàlẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yà tí ó ti kéré tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n gé kúrú. Àwọn tí àìfẹ́ lọ́sùn ti dẹni àtijọ́ Yorùbá jókòó sílẹ̀ ẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ wọn fọwọ́ lọ́wọ́. Bí àgùntàn tí abọ́ rẹ̀ ń gbòrìṣà ilẹ̀ o. Yorùbá ronú o.
Oríkì màí burú títí kó bógún ọdún lẹ́yìn òkùnkùn bèrèbèrè ìmọ́lẹ̀ yàtọ̀ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pọ̀ Olódùmarè ká pọ̀ Balùwàyé káyé wa lè dùn ní ìgbẹ̀yìn lálàyò ilẹ̀ mọ́ pé ìyá o.
Ilẹ̀ yàtúgbà wá o ilẹ̀ o.
Ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ àfọkọ́yẹ rí. Alákòókà ó tẹ́rẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ kábì. Ọ̀gbaragàdà bí ẹni yèyé mi ọmọ darúgbálẹ̀ àdúgbò.
Yàtúgbà wá o.
Òjòjì tí ka ìkàlẹ́ nù mọ́. Àtẹ ìka ọkọ tí a pèlẹ̀. Ọ̀gbàmùgbàmù ojú Olódùmarè ò mà ṣe gbàmù lọ́wọ́ ayé.
Àwa gorí ilẹ̀ yìí fẹ́ o.
Ẹni bá dalẹ̀ abalẹ̀ lọ ò
Fèrè gèdè o. Àwa gorí ilẹ̀ yìí fẹ́ o.
Odùduwà bá wa túnlẹ̀ yìí ṣe òtò.
Owó tọmọ o. Àwa gorí ilẹ̀ yìí fẹ́ o.
Odùduwà dá wa láre o ká sì máa rere jẹ́ o.